We all know it's hard to make games, especially games that involve adults running around like children pretending to be a magic alien. That's right, we're talking about Star Wars LARPing. I'm sure you already know that LARPing is live-action role-playing, where an event is orchestrated for people to fully engage themselves in the play and fantasy of the realm from which the game is. Ever since I was a kid, I fantasized about being a Jedi Master, and possibly leading a section of the clone army into battle. As I've grown older, these feelings only grew stronger, to the point where it was quite honestly difficult not imagining being a part of the Star Wars universe on the daily. As sad as that sounds, it's given me a great desire to provide a LARP experience for my local city, and I've decided to create a channel devoted to Star Wars, and hopefully with help deciding the most effective and enjoyable way to create a LARP. Now, in this episode, I'd like to analyze the possibilities of a Republic team hierarchy/organization. I will consider this under a range of players involved, as well as keeping in mind the canon Star Wars GAR systems. I'm a big fan of the Clone Wars era, so that's what we will be working with here. I'd like to preface this with my understanding that this is inaccurate as to how the ranking works, but sometimes working with smaller numbers, not everything can be so neat. The number in the top right corner is the number of people we will have on said GAR team. In the bottom left, we will have a self-explanatory breakdown of the Jedi-clone ratios. So, if you aren't already familiar with the clone hierarchy, each squad is comprised of privates, led by a sergeant, and a second-in-command is a corporal, whom is hand-picked. Typically, it is supposed to be 8 privates, 1 corporal, and 1 sergeant, but I've already made the note on that. The reason I have a squad being commanded by a Jedi, when usually their command would be much higher up, is because I want the diversity of playstyles even in lower numbered teams. In my head, I've already decided that clones will be able to respawn per se almost immediately after being killed, compared to the Jedi who will likely take minutes to respawn. This way, killing a powerful general will give the enemy team a time frame of tactical advantage. I would love to continue, but I want to keep this video short. I will certainly expand more on logistics in a later video. Now, let's move on to a team of 10. You can see now that the general is now in charge of a platoon, which, for sake of the LARP, is comprised of 2 squads. Additionally, the general has a Padawan, who may be second in command following the general's death. A quick side note, the number of troopers in a squad may fluctuate to meet the team number. In this example, a squad has 5, while the prior had 4. Now that we've gone over the breakdown of teams, let me do some explaining. In all honesty, a team of 5 has no practical use in a LARP to serve as an army, and I'd imagine battles would be short-lived. The style of LARP I have in mind, a 10-player team would be the smallest viable number of people. Let's say a hypothetical LARP is a game of Capture the Holocron. Jedi General could tactfully divide her platoon into squads and have half defend and half to capture the enemy's holocron. Perhaps even the Padawan can command a squad. I know some of these points I'm making seem void and obvious, but as I upload new videos, more and more will pile up to these scenarios, and we may want to look back at tactics such as these. I wanted to leave this video short as just an introduction to the channel. I have periods of obsession, so it is possible that I post more than just Star Wars content on this channel, but I promise it will always be nerdy content. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment asking how aspects of the LARP will work. It can be anything, like how will my insert fantasy I want to fulfill here happen. I'll try to post a few times a week to answer the questions you may have. I am also big into lore, so if you want to see some of those types, leave a like and a comment.